Hey guys, how are you doing? What are you up to? So, here I got back to talk with you about what's going on at my job. And today we're going to talk about harassment and about Brazilians that are too flirty. But first of all, please give me a like, okay? Because that helps the platform to understand that you kind of like those kind of videos, and the platform will share my videos with someone else. And please subscribe here, press the little bell, and you will get notifications every time that I post a new video. And today we are going to talk about very, very, very seriously subject, okay? We are in a terrible scenery, but it's because here in my office we are changing something, so it's not possible record in the other room. But soon we'll try to do that, okay? So, I'm a lawyer, I'm a labor lawyer, and I'm dealing with a problem at my work, at my job. This channel that I got here in English, it's more personal, it's more to talk about Brazilian curiosities and also to talk about my own life. The other channel that I get, it's in Portuguese, and I basically just talk about career, labor law, trying to help people to understand more about things. But anyway, what's going on at my job? So, and a year ago, I think, when I got back from London, I posted a video talking in Portuguese, of course, so that's why I'm not sharing here. Talking about the first time that I got afraid about men in UK, because I suffered some kind of harassment. Maybe someday I will tell that story here, but it was really hard and weird. And on that same video, I also talked about the problem that I was getting with the colleague. He's basically a kid. He's now 26, so to me he's just a kid, but he's a lawyer, so he already know what's right and what's wrong. And I got all these problems with him because he always kept touching me all the time. And I don't like strangers touching me. But you need to understand a point. We are not Americans and we are not Europeans. We are Brazilian. So Brazilians from Northeast, where I come from, they talk a lot using hands like I do. And they also kind of tend to talk to people touching them. But if someone just say, don't do it because I don't like it, to just stop it. And that kid didn't stop. It was really, really uncomfortable. And now I don't know what's going on. I'm getting another, harassment case that's going on my firm. The problem is because I'm friendly and I'm a smiley person. I like to be nice and friendly and open with everyone. And until, I don't know, 2 years ago, I never noticed about me suffering with harassment. I don't know if that was because my appearance that changed a bit, because I lost a lot of, pounds. I started to take care about myself more. I don't know, but that suddenly started from last year, and now I'm dealing with a second case of harassment at the same job that never happened at work. I mean, like, I get 10 years of career. I'm a lawyer since I was 24. And that guy is another kid. I mean, like, why I say that he's another kid? Because he's like 22, 23. I don't know. I'm 34. I never, ever, ever would get involved with someone so much younger than me. But the problem is because he used it to keep staring me a lot, and that was weird because the first time that I really saw that was actually on UK, because Brazilians don't do that. They don't keep staring. They flirt with eyes and smile, but if you don't do bad, they tend to stop and move on, because we are a huge country. You can get a lot of women if you want, or men, whatever. Depends of what you want, what you get interested in. And that guy, he keeps staring me all the time. And I always was like trying, to be nice and not say nothing about it. And I just used it to keep like, hey, what's going on? You lost something here? In my mind, it was a way of make him pay attention that I wasn't feel comfortable with that. Then he started to do with other things like massage in my shoulders. Sorry, I I was just upset about it. He keeps doing that with a lot of women there, and they don't complain about it. Maybe, I don't know, they don't care. But I don't like, because I don't like strangers touching me even more when I'm not interested in them. And now the situation is getting in a new level, because he follow me here in my Instagram. It's not the Instagram that I share here in the box of informations. It's another one that I use to talk about career. And I post some stories sometimes there, and he keeps like sending me DMs to who's following me here and don't understand what it's a DM. It's when you send a private message in the Instagram to someone else. And like, for example, this week I posted a story talking about what have happened with me in the morning some online here, and he started to send emoticons, with hearts in the eyes, and also more hearts. And I told that I was feeling comfortable with that to my internal thing, and she just said like, "Hey, doc, do you think that people is gasping that you're having an affair?" And I was like, "What?" Because that was weird. So maybe I started to imagine, maybe that was the impression that someone else could get. And that made me feel even worse. So I just decided to block him on Instagram. But now I think that maybe if he do that again, I must just talk to him in private, and say like, "Hey, please, don't do that anymore. Stop with the jokes because you're married. You're my colleague and I'm not feeling comfortable." And that's harsh because I got a problem. I don't like conflicts. I like when people like me. And I know what's going to happen if I get that conversation with him, because he's probably will say like, "Oh, I'm not interested in you. I was just being like playful. Are you crazy?" He will say some crap like that, you know? Because that's what happens sometimes with men. They keep stalking you, harassing you, and when you say like, "Dude, stop it," they just do like, "Oh, that's a crazy lady." When I'm interested in someone, I'm very pragmatic. I'm direct. But that's between me and that person. I don't do that in public in front of a bunch of strangers, because I don't like that people keep gossiping about my personal life. My personal life, it's personal, it's private. And sometimes you also don't know if the other person like that or not. But that keeps getting even worse when you were doing that with a colleague, and when you were married, that guy, he's married with a newborn at home. That's really, really terrible. And I don't know why, to be honest, someone would put another person, a colleague, in such uncomfortable situation. One of my first rules to my life, it's never ever get involved with a colleague at work. That's me, that's my opinion, because if you break up, dude, that's probably we went in a bad situation. But the problem right now, it's because I'm dealing with some harassment, and I swear to you, I didn't do nothing, to make him think that I was flirting with him. I'm smiling friendly with everyone at my job. And every time that he was being like weird with me, like a little bit creepy, because that's what I think about him, I always try to be like friendly and make a joke like, "Hey, really? Okay, I'm going to tell your wife." Dude, if someone is making a joke like that, saying that she's going to tell your partner about what you were doing, just stop it. Don't keep doing. It's not like she's teasing with you. And with Brazilians, it's complicated because in our culture, we are not so direct. It's not so common. It's not so normal to us. Just say, like, hey, I'm not interested in you, you know? And sometimes when you do that, the other person treat you like you were a crazy person. So I don't know. I just decided to talk about that because it's been like something harsh that I'm dealing with at work, and it's like the second time, so maybe I'm doing something wrong, I'm actually getting emotional about it because I'm feeling really, really bad about. And I don't know. I talked to my brother about it. He's a man, he's older than me. I was trying to get some advice, because he's a Brazilian. So he just said that I should block him on Instagram, what I've done, and that I should say if he do that again, that I don't like those kind of jokes. So I'm going to need to be like direct, and the most uncomfortable situation is because I'm going to need to look for him to get this private conversation alone, and I don't want to be alone with him because if he's doing all of that in front of everyone, I don't know what could happen, in a private room. So yeah, that's shit, right, guys? And I'm just a girl that's dealing with situation that's hard, and it's harassment again for the second time, and that's really sad, because in my culture, it's possible that you will see a woman flirting with a man, and I come from a very chauvinist culture, and these days we get crazy people. We get girls that pretend that they were that they suffered with harassment, but they didn't. So they take the voice of who really dealt with that, and I hate when a woman do that. But I also understand why a lot of women don't talk about, because it's terrible. You just keep like exposing yourself and your image and your name and your reputation. And I'm a lawyer. I fought a lot for that. It was not easy to me build a career practicing the law for 10 years. So I'm really trying to finish that in a very discreet way to keep going, okay? In my culture, we like to flirt. That's really, really common. But be nice and friendly shouldn't make me get in some uncomfortable situation like that one or another woman, People should respect more about boundaries. If you work with a person, don't do nothing. No jokes that would make that person get uncomfortable with you, even less if you don't have intimacy with that person. I never make jokes like bullying no one because I keep thinking it could be me. Maybe I wouldn't like if I was in her or his place. But that was the best company that I ever worked at. But I already had a lot to deal with that there. I got a colleague that used to bully me because I get a lot of, like, I don't know the word in English, experience being a lawyer, and some people know me because my social medias, I don't know. And now, besides that, I already had to deal with that kid harassing me, touching me all the time, and I was like saying no, 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 no. And now it's the second time that's happening again, and I will go. I'm going to be forced to say like, dude, don't do that again. That's not cool. And when my interner that I really like, she's a good girl, made a joke like, maybe people is thinking that you're having an affair. I was like, what? I really got worried. So yeah, from now on, I will need to change a bit about my behavior there, about my friendly way. I should be more shut it up and more quiet, more silence, and more, less social, I think, with colleagues, because that's the second time that happens in the same company, and I'm not looking for that kind of attention, okay? I think that I decided to get single and get focused on my career a lot for so long because I always liked to avoid complications in my life, but sometimes complications just look for you, you know? And we should talk about that because people need to understand about what's right and about what's wrong. Some people tend to say, like, oh, you have a gray area there. No, dude, we don't have a gray area there, okay? If you work with someone, if you don't have intimacy with that person, if you don't see that person flirting with you, just be polite. That's the rule. Like, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, how are you doing? And that's it. You don't need to keep like making jokes. Like for example, yesterday I was in my office with another colleagues, and he opened the door and looked to me, and I looked at the bag and I said like, hey, what are you up to? And he just made like and I was like, what? Oh, Doc, you were stunning. You were like blinding my view with your beauty. And I was like, uh-huh, okay, yeah, I will tell your wife. Dude, don't do that kind of jokes. Maybe the problem is because I never had to deal with that crap before, and now that's finally happening. I don't know how to deal with that. And now I can understand better why so many girls, so many women don't talk about. It's hard because you need to be like rough, say like, dude, respect me, you know, and you know that he can gossipy shit about you, saying that you were creating stories that don't exist. That also can make a lot of people making comments about you, and I don't like that. I already had to deal with a lot of things in my personal life that I didn't want people to see people gossiping about it. So anyway, that's the second time that I'm getting with harassment at work, even with me being a lawyer, even with me being like a grown up woman because I'm 34. And I hope that this video maybe helps someone else to understand about what can happen with Brazilians, and also what can happen with women. Being friendly and nice and open, and it's not an excuse to harass someone or to make that person get an attention that she's not interested in. And in my culture, it's not so easy to say no, so direct, so in a pragmatic way. Sometimes we can say that using different techniques, like being ironic, being sarcastic, with some body language, but when it doesn't work, you need to do the right thing and just say what you always knew that you should say. So anyway, if you liked this video, if that helped you somehow, please let a comment here, uh, give me a like, share this video with someone else, and I see you soon. Okay, I'm going to let my TikTok and my Instagram in the box of informations, and I see you in the next video. Bye!